My name is Katie Tomberlin, and I'm from Carteret County. This is Community Rising, Shoreside's environmental stories, broadcasting from the Working Narrative Studio. Coming up next are stories from coastal North Carolina.
I'm Caroline Bailey, a reporter for Community Rising. UNCW is no stranger to the planning and preparations for student safety when a hurricane comes. Peter Groenendyk, the Director of Housing and Residence Life at UNCW, explains how their past experiences with student relocation during hurricane season help prepare them for a more daunting challenge, COVID-19.
My name is Peter Groenendyk, and I'm the Director of Housing and Residence Life at UNCW, and I've been here for 5 years now. I'm not originally from the coast. I actually grew up in Ontario, Canada, and I went to school in Pennsylvania, and I had previously been living in Memphis. So hurricanes were definitely new to me, but upon arriving at UNCW, I had been told it had been quite a while since we had been impacted by a hurricane. And of course, in the last 5 years, we've evacuated campus several times related to tropical storms and hurricanes. Well, during a hurricane, as we start to communicate to students, we try and get them to provide us information about where they're going. At least during Florence, there was a handful of students that didn't have a place to go. So we do expect moving forward that we'll have students that don't have a place to go. And so then we also have a team that works to accommodate them. But as we have students who come from abroad and they don't have families to go home to, those are people that our International Student Services Office keeps in close contact with. Most of the time, they have friends here who take them home to make sure that they're cared for. And that's, I think, a really nice component of working in a college or university community is that people look out for each other and they try and care for each other. With COVID, like everyone, we've been watching it on the news as it was spreading. And when the decision was made to extend spring break, at that time we knew that this was going to be a semester like none other. And of course, the extension of spring break moved into the closing of the halls. And for us, a pandemic is very similar to what and how we respond to a hurricane. The difference was we didn't have to worry about sheltering students off-site who didn't have a place to go. We had to create a process to shelter students on campus who were not able to return home. And so then we developed a process for caring for those students. So it was surprising the number of similarities as it relates to shutting down the campus. The difference is that we didn't reopen. And we've been working with students. It really took about 8 weeks to work with them to retrieve their final belongings for those students who left and didn't take everything back with them. We have a pretty tight network in the field of working with students in residence halls. And I have a fairly regular call with the other senior housing officers in the state as we have been preparing plans, specifically the system schools, Chapel Hill and NC State, and Pembroke and Asheville and Fayetteville State and North Carolina Central. We all typically get on a Zoom every couple of weeks, and we send a lot of emails back and forth as we recognize each university might do things a little bit differently, but I think as a system, we're trying to move in unison in a similar way. I think if I had anything to say to the Wilmington community, it would be thank you for seeing that our students feel welcome and a part of the community. And for those of us who are relatively new members of the community, it's been a wonderful place to live. And I can't imagine being anywhere else at this time.
You've been listening to Community Rising, Shoreside's environmental stories. This podcast is a special project of Shoreside's and Working Narratives. Do you have a story from our coast that you would like to share? Contact us at info@shoresides.org. Thank you for listening.